Welcome, ChangePoint family, to the online post-service commons. And today it is all about students. I'm joined by my friends, and compatriots, Pastor Scott Smith. Scott, what do you do here?
Yeah, I serve as the student pastor with sixth grade through college.
And Heather Schooling. Heather,
Yes.
a newer member of our team. Introduce yourself. Let us know what you do.
Yep. So I'm Heather Schooling, and I'm the administrative assistant for Student Ministries. So all the contacts, emails, that kind of stuff, communications, and then just getting in there and doing lots of small groups and ministry opportunities. Yeah.
So if people are not aware of who Student Ministries even serves, what is a student from our perspective? Like, what ages are considered student ministries?
For us, Student Ministries is going to be, we have our 7th and 8th grade, which is middle school, and we have them come on Wednesday nights. They're here from 6:30 to 8:30, and then our high school students are here on Sunday nights, and they're here from 5:30 to 7:30.
It's awesome. So we have a ton of things going on at ChangePoint this week, which is great to say because it's been a while since we've had a ton of things going on at ChangePoint. Just quick overview of everything we're going to talk about today. We got a movie night, drive-in movie night coming up this Friday. We're going to talk about the Student Ministry Winter Retreat. We're going to talk about the Swan's new baby. We're going to talk about Parents Night Out. Parents, stick with us. That's going to be worth knowing, and it's on Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day.
And then we're going to talk about some very exciting stuff that has been going on with student ministry. So that's what's coming up on today's program, and let's dive right in. So Heather, tell me a little bit about if somebody shows up to a student ministry, event on a Wednesday or a Sunday. What can they expect? What happens there?
So basically, the students will come in, hang out for a couple minutes, and what we do is we bring them in, we'll have a game, we'll go into worship, the message, and then after the message, we break up into small groups, and so that's a time that students can really share with what they're going through in life, and dive in, get a little bit more personal. So that's what we've got. That's kind of.
Do you guys open the cafe?
We don't right now. We cannot wait to get that coffee shop back open, though.
So, so let's talk a little bit about Winter Retreat. That's an event we all look forward to every year. What are the deets on Winter Retreat? When is it happening? Who is it for? And then we got a special Winter Retreat this year, right? We've never had middle school before, have we?
Yeah, we do. We do two big camps, usually one in the fall to kind of welcome students back to school. It's kind of a great opportunity for new kids that are joining the student ministry program, kind of get to know and build some relationships that kind of start that school year out. And then we do another winter camp right at the beginning of the second semester, kind of also to welcome those new kids in. And our winter retreat, in the past, we've done as a combined with high school and middle school. But this year, last year, we were really talking about, hey, we've got a ton of kids. We had a little over 100 last year. And so we said, let's split it and do a middle school and high school specific camp. And we've had such a strong group of high schoolers that have stepped into leading middle school that we're going to be able to have those kids go to middle school or high school camp, and then following week, they're leaders at the middle school camp. So they're investing right back into the next generation.
That's fantastic. So, it's easy details. When are these camps?
The first one that we're going to have is February, and so it'll be the 12th through the 14th, and the very following week.
High school or middle school?
Sorry, high school is going to be the very first one.
Solid Rock Bible Camp.
Yep. And then that next weekend, we're going to have some tired leaders. I'll be one of them. We're going to go for the middle school students, and that one will be at Camp Maranatha. So that's the 19th through the 21st.
Is there transportation? Do you have to get your kid out to Solid Rock or Maranatha, or do we have a bus?
We do have buses.
We have
Yeah,
buses.
one of the great things of ChangePoint is we loan our parking lot out to Princess, and they do their bus training in our parking lot. And part of that agreement is we get free buses. So because of COVID, we're getting two buses. So we're going to have lots of leg room on those buses. And so we'll have two buses for
Tour
middle
buses.
school. Tour buses.
Tour buses. Yeah, this isn't like school bus, pull your knees to your chest. No, we got Princess Cruises tour buses. The Lord works in mysterious ways.
He
Am I
does.
right?
He does.
So Scott, you were just talking a minute ago about the high school students stepping in and helping lead the middle school camp. But that's not the only place that the high school students have been kind of stepping into leadership, right?
That's right. So we also have Due North, which also meets on Wednesdays, and we have some high schoolers that help out there. But more specifically, we've started a teaching team, and those there's a group of students that have expressed interest with us about actually teaching in Due North or middle school. And so we've been working with them, doing sort of a workshop on how to put a sermon together. And we have a curriculum we use for middle school. So most of the hard, heavy lifting is done. It's just the presenting and kind of how to, use the passage and apply a personal story to the passage so that you connect with the kids. So there's about 4 students that are kind of going through that. And we also have some leaders that have stepped into new roles as teaching. Heather got to teach for the first time last week.
How'd you do?
I think it went pretty well.
Nobody threw any tomatoes, or
There were no tomatoes thrown.
people weren't walking out renouncing Christ or anything?
No.
Okay, well, good. That's a win.
It is. Yeah.
She did a great job. And so we're excited about having some of those over the next couple weeks leading up to middle school camp. And then actually those students are speaking at middle school camp. So they will get to hear them during a regular Wednesday night and then hear them again at the middle school camp coming up in February.
It's good. It's very good. And I love about that teaching team idea. One, that when we hear at Change Point, we believe in team teaching. We have team teaching every Sunday. We have a teaching team. I think of our SLG curriculum, the way we do the D1, D2, D3, D4. If they're going to be stepping in to be the next generation of leaders in the church, they need experience giving that a go, right? And making some mistakes in an environment where everybody likes them and will be nice to them, right? That's good. That's really good. Okay, so we have lots more like event type things coming up. This Friday, what a cool thing going on. Drive-in movie event. Do you want to tell us about that?
Yeah, this is we're partnering with Family Ministries on this one. This is their Family Ministries' second event, Family Night Out. The first one was a bingo night. I think you were there, Tony.
It was
for that.
so cool. So let me just testify about this. It was the coolest thing. Like we drove in, we were kind of like, are we gonna go, not go? Anyway, piled all the kids in the minivan, drove over here. The bingo screen is 40 feet tall on the side of the building, and they're transmitting through the radio, and they're like live streaming from like another car in the parking. It was so cool. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, so there's door prizes, but this Friday we were doing the Frozen. So they're showing the movie Frozen, and the students are going to be doing a fundraiser, selling coffee, drinks, and other movie snacks that you can get. So
They did this at bingo night too. This is so cool. You just throw on your hazards.
that's right.
And,
they come right to your door.
Yeah, a student in a mask rolls up and takes your order, and 6 minutes later, coffee arrives. It's like Sonic. Sonic's not open on Huffman yet. You can have that Sonic experience right here on Friday night with our student ministry. So there we go. So it's 6:30 to 8:30. You don't need to register. There's no cost. There's nothing like that. You just drive your car to the Change Point Raspberry campus between 6 and 6:30.
And it shows right on the side of the building. And then they tune the radio in, and you get to listen to Frozen and sing along, actually. I think it's a sing along, so you can sing along with the song.
When was the last time you went to a movie theater? There we go. Well, you can. You can go to Sonic and the movie theater and support student ministry all at the same time this Friday, Frozen movie night. So next thing. Oh, Parents' Night Out. This is a wild one. Heather, tell us about Parents' Night Out. You've been involved in the development of this, yes?
For sure. Yeah, so Parents' Night Out, we're basically inviting students, or I guess not just students, kiddos before they're students. They can come on, and parents have some time from 6 to 9 to go to the movies. And
this is on Valentine's Day, right?
On Valentine's
Sunday,
Day.
February 14th.
Yes.
So let me just make sure that I understand this. So I have half a dozen kids, for
Right.
example, to pick an example. So I can register and I can bring my kids here, and then Christians will watch them so that my wife and I can go do
That's
something
right.
else.
Yep.
That's right.
That is
And
amazing.
It's a Sunday night, so we're coming back from camp that night, and then we're getting ready, watching kids. So some people already have their kids checked into Awanas that night. So they'll just text us their little code number. We'll pick their kids right up out of Awanas and hold on to them until about 9 o'clock so they can go out for a nice dinner and whatever they want to do on Valentine's Day. So,
You guys have thought this through. This is excellent. So where do I register for this? Where do I?
Yep, you'll go to just the Change Point app, and it's going to be there. Let's see, probably be on Family Ministries, and if it's not on Student Ministries, we need to get it there because we are partnering with them. The cool thing is, too, it's based on donations. So we're not setting a cost. It's just whatever you feel is necessary, and it's a fundraiser. So
I
help us
don't
out.
need to campaign for like the bulk rate. It's
No,
not. I don't
Oh,
need like the
you
Costco
do.
pack.
You do. But everybody else.
Swing by Costco, get the 6-pack real quick for $125, and
Yep.
and drop that
We
off.
will have some snacks and food for the kiddos too. So don't worry about getting them fed or taken care of. We cover a lot of that too during that night from 6 to 9.
It's fantastic. What a great thing to do. So we got the Frozen coming up. Come join us. Watch with your family. We've got Winter Retreat for students coming up in 2 weeks. We've got Parents' Night Out coming up in 2 weeks. It's fun to finally have a lot of
Stuff
things
coming
going
up.
on.
I know.
So, Heather, you told a compelling story up on stage, 40 minutes ago or whatever.
Yeah.
For those who are just joining us in the Commons and didn't watch the worship service, can you give us a quick overview again on like what happened?
For sure, yeah. So, during our small group time, I was with the 8th grade girls, and they were just all, they've got such a good community. It's amazing. But, we had talked about faith and kind of what that meant, and we had talked about salvation, and, one of the girls had said she wasn't really sure where she was in that. And she was like, when I was 5 years old, I asked if I could go to heaven and ride a unicorn, and she didn't really think that was it. So we were kind of talking.
Yeah, when you're 5, though, that's the conception, right? When you're 5,
Yeah.
you're basically saying like, do you want to go to a happy place like heaven or not? Well, sure, I do, right? But
Yeah.
there does come a time. Anyway, you're in 8th grade, so go ahead.
Right, so it's not about unicorns anymore. She's realizing, that there's more, and so we had ended up, after small group, going and talking about, why bad things happen in the world, and why there's hurt, why people are sick, why she's going through some of the things that she's experiencing, and we were basically just able to talk, start at Adam and Eve and kind of process through some of that stuff. I'm just going to bully your mic here.
No, go ahead.
But we were just able to kind of process through some of the things, and she ended up saying, I want to accept Jesus as my Savior. And so we prayed together through that, and it was just a really awesome experience. And the smile that girl had afterwards was amazing, and you're like, you just know, Jesus is in there.
So, I can't help but notice some similarities between this story and your story. Yes?
Yes.
Little similarities. Little similarities. Because what grade were you in when you got all interested in Jesus?
I would have been in 7th grade.
Seventh grade instead
yeah.
of 8th grade. I think a lot of people, if you look at the stats on this, a whole lot of people who end up choosing to follow Jesus end up doing it in that kind of
Yeah.
4 to 14 window, yeah? Mm-hmm. Looked at those stats.
Yeah.
So what was that story like? How'd you end up becoming a Christian and getting involved in student ministry?
So I came from a home where my mom was married to a guy, his name's Glenn, and they had gotten a divorce. So I've got a half brother through that. And that divorce had happened when I was in 7th grade. And so that was just a really tough time for me. And, my brother went one way and stayed with his dad, and I ended up going and staying with my mom. During that time, I was able to get kind of connected through one church and start hearing a little bit more about Jesus, and not just the basic, we're Christians. So then in 8th grade, when I had transferred schools, because I did end up transferring as a result of the separation, I rode the bus, and there was this girl, and there were actually 2 of them because they were twins, so it took a little bit. But anyway, they had invited me to go on a ski trip, and it was with a youth ministry. So we went, I'm from Oklahoma, so not used to skiing there, right? We went to Colorado, and just through that ski trip, I had the opportunity to get involved with the youth ministry, and I just really got to see that community and dove in with my relationship with Jesus.
Well, a ski trip is not unlike a winter retreat, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
You leave your house in the winter, you go somewhere, you play in the snow, you receive life in Christ, the basics. So how'd you get into student ministry then? Scott was saying you were basically beaten down the door when you got to Alaska. How'd you end up in Alaska, and how'd you end up in student ministry?
So I started working on my master's in counseling, and I was doing that when I was in Oklahoma. And my professor had talked about, hey, you know, there's some different loan forgiveness opportunities in Alaska. And so I'm like, oh, you know, that might be cool. And then my husband and I started really talking about what Alaska might look like. And we're like, you know, we didn't really want to stay in Oklahoma. So, you know, it's a bigger city, more job opportunities for him. And we're like, let's do it. Let's go. So we moved up here and we started attending to Change Point in February of last year. And
Great timing.
I know. I think we made like one service, and then it was COVID. So we're like, okay. And then the whole Zoom, and I'm just a little box, you know, volunteering, and it's, yeah. But that's kind of how I got involved with Change Point.
So what made you pick student ministry?
I don't know. They're ornery.
And were you-
No, I just love students. I love that age. I get to be silly, and I guess that's honestly who I am. I can't break out of it.
And yeah, did you finish your master's in counseling?
I'm still working on it.
Still working on it.
Yeah, still working on it.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely seems like a skill set that would be helpful in the middle school, high school range.
It has been.
I've seen a lot of memes posted probably by high schoolers about how bad their own mental health is. So there we
Yeah.
go. I trust their memes. So Scott, we haven't heard from you in a while. You're a longtime change pointer. We haven't seen you in a bit. What has got you excited about student ministry in 2021?
You know, I think what I'm excited about is just the involvement that our students have had in taking ownership of the ministry. So it's not so much Heather, Caleb, myself, Annie, kind of running or leading the ministry as much as we've been able to empower these students and these volunteers to step into leadership and to make it work. And so it's been exciting to see that passion. I mean, we've got multiple student worship teams that play at this campus. We have students that played at this campus. We have some in Matsu. Last week we were at Takatnu. And so it's just been neat to see how students has not just become a ministry pocket of Change Point, but students have kind of filtered into all different types of ministry areas around the church here. And it's just been neat to see how those students have wanted to step up, get involved, lead. Due North in middle school has a good group. I think Due North has 5 or 6 probably high school students in it, and there's some parents that help out. Middle school is mainly all high school leaders except for Sarah and Ori Miller, who are leaders that have been with us forever.
Right.
And then, and we have a great student worship team for middle school and high school. So it's just been really neat to see how students have caught the vision of investing into the next generation and kind of passing that on.
I think we've all seen the result of the student worship teams that you're talking about. They've led worship here at Raspberry multiple times. And like you said, they're leading at Matsu today, right?
Yep.
We got students leading at Matsu. Yeah, that's very exciting. And that is largely the influence, at least on the worship side, of Sophia Swan.
Sophia Swan.
And
yeah.
She's got some
Nice
news.
segue.
You like that? You like that? Go ahead. Tell us the big news.
Well, we got a text. Oh, man, what night was it now? I don't know.
So
It was pretty
January
close.
28th at like 3:20 a.m.
3:20.
They do not come at convenient times. What happened, Heather?
Oh. Okay, so from my perspective, I get a phone call. Husband gets a phone call. I'm not that cool, right? Caleb's like, we're on the way to the birthing center. So they were on the way to the birthing center, and Sophia and Caleb welcomed Cora Grace into the world.
All right, we got a baby picture, right? Let's see a baby picture here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, look how sweet. And there they
They're
are.
a happy couple.
There we
I
go.
love that picture.
I think
Beautiful
that baby
little
we had a baby shower for Sophia with the middle school and high school students last Saturday. Not this past one, but one before.
Yeah.
And I think that baby has outfit for every day, probably for the first year. I think he came home with quite a few different baby outfits from all those
Okay,
students.
you said he, which is funny
But
because this
we
whole
thought it was
time,
a he. Yes, you're right.
Right.
I thought it was Terex. It was not Terex.
Yes. So really quick, they did not find out the gender.
They did not.
chose to be surprised, old school. Like it's
But we all tried
ancient
to
Rome or something.
persuade it one way or another, to be a boy or girl.
So what was your vote?
I was voting for a boy.
A boy.
Yep.
And what were you voting for?
Boy.
A boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there any support for Proposition Girl?
two.
There was a
two
few
people.
from, yeah.
Well, and also
surprised us
apparently the
all.
Lord.
Yes.
The Lord was on that team because that is in fact what they got. So as we've long learned, when the Lord goes out for one team or the other, it sort of doesn't. And it's like,
Yep.
well, thing's over. We are just about out of time on the Commons. Can you believe that? It's like this. Heather, or you want to
Go ahead,
go
Heather.
last,
No,
or you
I'll
want
go
to?
last.
All
We're
right,
gonna
go
throw
last.
it,
So
yeah.
Heather, is there anything that you would want to say, maybe to a student who's listening to this or a parent who's listening to this, that I haven't given you the opportunity to say?
I feel like we've pretty much covered everything, but the biggest thing is come check it out. 6th grade and 7th, 8th, they all meet on Wednesday nights, and that is, again, from 6:30 to 8:30. And then Sunday nights, we've got high school from 5:30 to 7:30. So we just encourage students to come check it out. It's going to be a little bit uncomfortable at first if you don't know people, but that's okay. You're here to meet Jesus. We've got awesome students and leaders who are going to welcome you, and we just hope to meet new people.
There we go.
Yeah.
And so, Scott, the true final word.
Yeah, I think I got 3 things, so I like to just keep going. But the
Can
first
you count
one,
that high? Sorry.
Oh, hey now. Hey now.
first one is if you got a middle school or high school student, send them to camp. That's the best way to get involved with student ministries and make some friends and break that awkward barrier. The second thing is come and help out. Be a Heather. Jump on with Zoom. Jump on with us as a leader. Come in and live life with these kids and see how God can use you to make a difference. It doesn't take anything except a yes, and God will give you what you need to make that happen. And then the third thing is pray for us. COVID has taken a toll on these students. They haven't been in school. They haven't been around their friends. We've been dealing with depression, suicide, loss of friends. And so just be praying for student ministries as you guys think about us. And the work that we do with these kids, it's been a hard year, and it's not really going to get any easier anytime soon. So we're just thankful that we're continuing able to meet with the students, and we are that one outlet that they have right now to be able to socialize and to be able to share kind of what they're struggling with and going through. So I'm just thankful that Change Point's in that position.
It's a privilege. So Change Point family, just reviewing one more time all of the amazing opportunities we can sign up for. There's a movie night. We're watching Frozen drive-in movie night in the parking lot this Friday, 6:30 to 8:30, and the students will be serving coffee. You just throw on your hazards. It's amazing. Speaking of students, there's a winter retreat coming up in 2 weeks. We're doing the high school one first from the 12th through the 14th, and the following weekend we're going to do the middle school one. We haven't done a middle school winter retreat separate before, so we're excited about that, or not recently. And then February 14th, Valentine's Day, we're doing a Parents' Night Out, which is also a fundraiser for student ministry, yes. And the students will watch your kids so that you and your lover can go out on Valentine's Day. If you're a student, spouse. Well, I mean, I figured, what if they're dating? Like you.
That's true.
I guess.
And yeah.
There's blended families now. There's people with kids from. It's a lot of complicated. The point is, we'll watch your kids. We'll watch your kids. Anyway, and if you're a student between the ages 6th grade and 12th grade, student ministries going on either on Wednesday night or on Sunday night, and we would love to have you join us. Sign-up links for all of these opportunities and more are available on the ChangePoint app or online at changepointalaska.com/students. Scott, Heather, thank you for being part of the Commons.
Thanks for having us, Tony.
Yeah.
And thank you, ChangePoint family, for joining us. God bless you. Have a great week, and we'll see you next Sunday.